Dallas Mavericks up against the Toronto Raptors. And that's it for now. Let's send you out to Kevin Harlan and the rest of the 2K Sports crew. Enjoy the first half. We'll see you soon.
It's the NBA on 2K Sports. Hello, everyone. Great to have you with us. This is Kevin Harlan with Clark Kellogg and Steve Kerr. A quick check now at the starting lineups for both teams. First, for Dallas, Calderon is out there with Ellis, and it's Samuel Dalembert manning the middle at the center position. Then there's Marion, and it's Nowitzki in at the power forward. And for Toronto, Lowry and DeRozan, they're the backcourt. And at the 5, the 5th overall pick in the 2011 draft, a fleet-footed 6'11" big man out of Lithuania, Jonas Valanciunas. Then there's Rudy Gay, and it's Johnson in at the 4 spot.
The Raptors have been in the rebuilding process for a while now, and even though they still didn't crack the postseason, they were able to do something they haven't done in several years, win more than they lose here in Toronto.
And it might seem like such a small accomplishment, but going back to what you said, Clark, about the Raptors, but they are a young team, and it takes small steps like that to climb up the standings, Steve, you know, this year to year.
Yeah, no question. I mean, unless you have a once-in-a-lifetime or at least once-in-a-generation type player in the draft, you have to do it with smaller steps, and that's what the Raptors are trying to do.
Now here's Gay. 6 to shoot. Lowry against Marion. Marion with the steal. It's Ellis on the wing. Back to Marion. Johnson's there. Marion kicks to Ellis. Nailed from three-point land. Ellis has got the first 3 points tonight for the Mavs. Now DeRozan.
Well, Monte Ellis has never been short on confidence, and last year he went as far as comparing himself to Dwayne Wade, saying the only difference between them is that Wade has rings. That's a pretty big difference, though.
Out of bounds, Dallas will take possession. We'll go to Doris Burke, who spoke with head coach Dwayne Casey. What's the news, Doris?
Thanks, Kevin. He talked about the challenge defensively, going up against a team that can really execute. He said they're a team that makes the most of every single possession. They won't settle for tough shots. We have to make them take difficult shots, contested shots. Guys, let's see if they have what it takes.
And Doris, thank you so much. And guys, how do you view coach's strategy in terms of limiting those shooters?
I think he's got the right idea. I mean, you've got to make the shooters as uncomfortable as possible.
Well, that's easier talked than walked, Steve. I mean, they rarely get rattled. They shoot with such great composure, even under the most intense defensive pressure.
Marion with the steal. First 1:30 gone here in the first quarter. Gay with the block. And that'll be Dallas as it goes out of bounds. Mavericks retain possession. There's Ellis with the 3-ball. Toronto with the ball. It's a 3-point game. DeRozan dishes to Lowry. Lowry gets a screen from Johnson, and it's Lowry penetrating, uses the glass to finish the layup.
And it's nice to see Raptors coach Dwayne Casey getting another chance at being a head coach. A lot of people felt he got a bum rap back in Minnesota in 2007. He had that team overachieving at 500 when he was let go. So I'm glad he's gotten a second chance and he's making the most of it.
Here's Marion after the made shot from Kyle Lowry.
Boy, that's got to be deflating and disappointing to miss a wide open shot like that right in your wheelhouse. Rudy Gay on.
If you're just tuning in, we played about 2.5 minutes here in the first. And that misses. That would have put him up. And you go back to that Timberwolves team at 500. Casey was let go. And then, Steve, they went 12-30 after he was gone.
Yeah, they struggled with his departure. And a lot of the players actually were sad to see him go. So, that's sometimes the case in the NBA. Coaches get blamed for everything, fairly or not. And in Casey's case, I respect the fact that he got back to work. Did a great job in Dallas as an assistant and is now the head man in Toronto trying to get this team turned around.
That's good from Ellis.
Dallas usually does well against the Eastern Conference, and even in a year when they were struggling, that still was the case. The Mavs posted a 500 or better record against every division in the Eastern Conference.
And it's a completely new group on the floor for the Mavericks. And good on the second, so he makes them both. Dallas did finish 41 up and 41 down on the year, with 17 of those wins coming, Steve, against the East. Not a bad mark for him.
And you'll remember last season, it was in March when the Mavs started gaining a lot of ground and kind of put themselves into playoff contention. And a lot of those wins that month came against Eastern Conference teams.
Clock at 4. Shot from the wing. The rebound by Monte Ellis. Mavericks leading by 3. With the lead pass. Knocks it loose. Guys are looking for a spark here.
Yeah, a cold stretch offensively. They desperately need a basket.
Ellis against Augustine. Fields. And good. Coming in on the assist by DJ Augustine. 30 seconds left in the first quarter. Harris against Augustine. Harris passes to Ellis. Back to Harris. Some nice passing here by Dallas. Carter with the bucket. Here comes DJ Augustine. Quiet so far offensively, searching for his first points of the game. Near the three-point line, it's Ellis. With nobody on him, he buries the jumper. And that concludes the first quarter of play. And now the second quarter just getting set to start. And a look at how the hustle game has been going for the Mavericks.
Boy, their frenetic defense has really been impressive, putting a lot of pressure on ball handlers and turning them over.
They've gotten their fair share of points off turnovers so far tonight, too.
Dallas leading by 6. From the sideline, let's catch up with Doris Burke.
Gentlemen, Rick Carlisle is widely considered an outstanding strategist and X and O's coach. But with the turnover on the Mavericks roster the last few seasons, he's tried to keep things as simple as possible for them. He said, quote, "My ongoing goal is to call less or no plays if we can. We want our guys to make plays." Kevin?
Well, Doris, when you've got that kind of talent and IQ, playing on instinct can certainly be effective. Now Augustine, after Devin Harris's three-pointer that didn't go. 5 on the clock. He kicks it to Ross. The Raptors need to get a shot off. A fader. Augustine, no luck.
Well, he had to fade away there. The defense was all over him, and he got it off, just couldn't get it to go.
Well, no team likes to have their first-round pick belong to another team. It gets worse when you're a lottery team yourself and you're trying to build your talent base up. But the Raptors' number 12 pick in this summer's draft went to one of the elite teams in Oklahoma City.
Wright sets a screen for Harris. And fouled hard that time. He'll get to the line and shoot 2. Well, Clark, as you said, the Thunder got the Raptors' first selection this last year. Only the way the Raptors would have been able to hang on to it was, Steve, if they jumped up to the top 3 in the lottery.
And as bad as it might seem for the Raptors to have not had a first, I mean, and it is bad, it was as good as any other time for them to not have a first-round pick because the draft wasn't deep, and the Raptors have a lot of young talent already and that they can make improvement with.
You know, the Mavs, like many teams, always aware of who the free agents are that might help them become better. And prior to last season, they made sure they got their finances in order to make a run at Darren Williams to bring him home to Texas. Didn't work out, but they did the same thing this last offseason.
Now here is Augustine. He's been patient so far, nothing yet on the scoreboard. And Fields kicks to Augustine. The pass to Ross. He dishes it to Augustine. Releases. A second chance effort and a foul on the shot. He'll go to the stripe for 2.
Well, they called him Psycho T at North Carolina for his willingness to dish out and absorb punishment. A guy who loves that physical play around the basket.
Yeah, no doubt. He is a banger, high motor guy, willing to do whatever it takes to win, certainly.
You got this, baby, yeah!
A free throw drops for Hansbrough. And for the Mavs, they know that in order for them to remain competitive and not go through a traditional rebuilding phase where they're going to finish, at the bottom for a few years, Steve, they're going to have to lure some free agents.
And one way or another, their top brass has always made sure that they would be able to move contracts around and make an offer to whatever big-name player was out there. But think about it. The last 2 years, they had unlimited cap room, unable to lure that big free agent fish to Dallas.
Now here's Ellis. 7 points in the game. Launches a 3. Dallas again missing. Raptors trail by 6. Ross dishes to Fields. To the inside. Augustine passes to Fields. Feeds to Augustine. That's good on the jump shot. 1:49 left in the first half.
Landry Fields, who last season signed a nice big 3-year contract with the Raptors, but suffered an elbow injury and missed more than a month and really struggled with his shooting in his return. That's something that he brought to the table as a Knick, and the Raptors were counting on. They're hoping that he can bounce back and be the player he was 2 years ago.
Aaron Gray, he's checked in for Tyler Hansbrough. And there's 1:45 left in the first half. Dishes to Carter. Buries it down low. Carter's got 5 now. And the silver lining when you talk about field shooting, that's never been the strength of his game.
No, he's more of a complementary player, an excellent rebounder as a wing, smart defender, can guard multiple positions, just kind of knows how to play and knows how to contribute to a team.
I'll tell you what, the mid-range shot is not the easiest one to make, but when you've got daylight like he had there, I mean, those are shots you want to make.
Augustine against Harris. Ellis, lots of room. Shot is off.
I'll tell you what, folks, I bet he won't miss that shot next time he takes it.
Augustine with it. Devin Harris covering. He feeds it to Fields. He passes to Ross. And taken away by Ellis. And in the second quarter, a little under 3.5 minutes played already. Carter with the 3. Gets it to go. Carter's got 8.
That is not enough coverage. Got to do better than that defensively. Basically no coverage. I mean, defense did not look very good there.
Now here is Augustine. Back to Johnson. Inside. And there's the call on Brandon Wright. That is his first foul of the game. Lowry against Calderon. Gay kicks to Lowry. Clock at 6. Back to Gay. Marion with the steal. And now it's Marion running. He can go all the way.
Boy, I love it. Active hands on the steal, active feet on the fast break.
And Clark power on the dunk.
And guys, this is just too close of a game to be giving the ball up like that and then failing to get back in transition.
Can't get it to go. So we've reached the end of the first half of play. Mavericks lead by 11. And don't go away. After the break, we'll see you right back here for the start of the third quarter.
Now, presented by Sprint.
We're happy to be with you this Tuesday night. Keep it here on 2K Sports as we break down the first half. For the Dallas Mavericks, they have the lead against Toronto. They've been tremendous defensively, and that's how you lock a team down. Monte Ellis getting it done early. He's got 7 points and is putting out the effort defensively as well, making his presence felt on both ends of the floor. And hanging tough, the Toronto Raptors. Turnovers, something this team always struggles with, and it's been a problem again. They've gotten some great minutes out of Landry Fields. DJ Augustine has also been a huge contributor. That's it for me here in the studio. Time to send you back out to Kevin Harlan and the crew for the start of the third quarter.
The Sprint Halftime Report, presented by Sprint.
And as we welcome you back, we begin our second half. So far, not a tightly contested game, guys, but, anything can happen. Vince Carter really making a difference here.
And what was most impressive was that his decision-making and shot-taking was very disciplined and efficient. Really an excellent half.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Whether it's been from mid-range or in tight, he is taking only what the defense has given him, and he's not trying to do too much. I love the flow and rhythm he's playing with here.
Ellis goes in, and it's Dallas with another.
The mid-range jumper becomes a pretty high percentage shot for him when he has that kind of space.
So often teams that are near the bottom of the East tend to get drummed by the Western Conference teams, and that was the story last season for the Raptors. Had some close games and even a few upsets, but out west they didn't fare very well.
Let's go now to the sideline and catch up with Doris Burke. Hey, Doris.
Well, guys, it's hard to imagine Dirk Nowitzki playing on a different team than the Mavericks. And he said he wants to finish his career in Dallas. But he's also definitely unhappy with just fighting for the 8th seed like they were last season. He said, quote, "I will never forget the 2011 season. We were the underdog in just about every series, and we came out winning it all. That still brings chills down my spine. Other than that, I don't play for anything else." Guys, he's itching to get back in the hunt.
We'll see how it plays out. Thanks, Doris. Well, picking up that talk again on the Raptors, teams out west have so many great forwards to deal with that when you try and go up against them with the stretch four like the Raptors have had, it's going to be tough.
Yeah, particularly rebounding and defensively, Kevin. That's one of the reasons Toronto traded Bargnani to the Knicks in the offseason. They wanted to be a little better in terms of being physical, being more punishing with their post players, and having a better defensive presence.
Nowitzki for three. Good. And the Mavericks lead by 11.
Boy, he's so hard to stop, guys, because he poses a ton of matchup problems for the defense.
Dirk Nowitzki, the 7-footer from Germany, is certainly not one of the more explosive athletes in the NBA, but I don't know if we give him enough credit for how coordinated he is at his size. This guy is very coordinated in how he gets around on the court, especially at the offensive end. He's got tremendous balance, outstanding hands. Both of those allow him to be a terrific shooter and player.
Now here is Lowry, following the miss by Sean Marion. DeRozan on the wing. There's the dish to Gay. Just 5 on the clock. And 2 free throws coming up as he misses that one. Drawing the whistle and a lot of contact there. It's going to be on Jose Calderon. Back to Nowitzki, such a great hand-eye coordination. It's key for any shooter, and certainly key, Steve, for him.
Well, he takes a shot that for most NBA players is kind of a low percentage shot, that mid-range fadeaway jumper, but for him, it's incredibly accurate.
That free throw, no good.
It was a rough year for the Mavs and their fans. The first time since 2012 the Mavericks found themselves out of the playoffs. A big reason why was they couldn't get the wins they needed on the road.
Looking at who's out there now for the Mavericks. Brandon Wright's checked in for Dallenberg. Carter comes in for Dirk Nowitzki. And Devin Harris is subbed in for Monte Ellis. And he's good on the second. And back to the Mavs, 17-24 record on the road. You know, Steve, their struggles as the visiting team, one of the reasons why they were only a 500 team on the season at 41-41.
And even though going 500 isn't a bad year for most, it is when you're the Dallas Mavericks and you're used to playing in the postseason. This was the first time in a long time, in forever, that the Mavs didn't end up in the playoffs.
Dirk Nowitzki, he's checked in for Jose Calderon. 1:31 left to play here in the third. And here's Lowry. 5 points in the game. Gay, left side. Back to Lowry. Pass to Gay. And there's the feed to Lowry. The Raptors rebound. Goes back up. No good from Valanciunas. Mavericks leading by 10. Carter dishes it to Harris. Back to Carter. Pass to Harris. Shot clock at 6. And it goes as the official calls the foul. Count it. He'll shoot one more at the free throw line.
And that's his forte, finding that angle and then aggressively attacking the rim.
Mavericks making a switch here. Hansbrough's checked in. Dallas shooting their 5th attempt at the line in the game. That's good from Harris.
It appeared to be another season where the Raptors would be near the bottom of the league, but while the terms rock bottom and embarrassing floated around, they made some moves and were able to go on a run to climb towards the middle of the pack.
And that'll be Toronto as it goes out of bounds. Raptors retain possession. Just under 3.5 minutes played here in the third quarter. It's Gay with the drive. 5 to shoot. Valanciunas passes to Gay. From 17 feet out. Good.
They're on track here in the second half after their less than impressive first half. I think they came out with some tired legs to start, but they've turned it around. They found some energy, and they look a lot more active and engaged.
Calderon kicks to Nowitzki. Carter right side. There's the bucket. Good. Carter's got 10 points. Here's Lowry. Misses. And here at the end of the third quarter, it's a double-digit ball game. Mavericks ahead. They lead by 13. As we get going here in the fourth quarter, the final quarter of play can change everything. And let's quickly check out the scoring breakdown here for the Mavericks.
So far, they've turned in a fantastic performance from the three-point line. It's been a weapon all game.
The other thing they're doing, guys, is forcing turnovers and then creating points offensively as a result.
The shot by Gay. Here's Hansbrough. And, here, there's a whistle. He was going up for a layup, and while it looked like there was some contact, I wasn't sure they were going to call it a foul shot or not, but sure enough they have. So we've got a couple of free throws coming up.
This last summer, the Mavs asked fans to submit some redesigns of their uniforms for future use. Always kind of neat to see when a team and organization reaches out for the fans' input.
And he can't get the first one. Brandon Wright's checked in for the Mavericks.
We got this. We got this.
He hits the second from the line. And out of bounds as the Raptors gain possession.
Boy, just a brain cramp, guys. I mean, that should have been the simplest of exchanges.
And DeRozan. Here we go. Outside Lowry. Shot from 12. And he hits the jump shot. And back to the Mavs. Definitely a big move by them to reach out like that. Nothing like bringing crowdsourcing to the NBA and building a bridge, Steve, with your fan base.
Kevin, I had a chance to see some of the designs of the uniforms that were being suggested. Some pretty sharp-looking duds, but there were some other ones that were absolutely hideous. So let's hope decision makers in the Mavs organization pick some of the, let's say, the more clean-looking new uniform suggestions.
Kicks it to DeRozan. Lets it go from the wing. The shot is off. Mavericks leading by 12. Passes it to Ellis. Misses off the left iron. The Raptors have gone 1 of 3 from the field to start the fourth quarter. Gay dishes to Lowry. Floats one. Gets the bucket. Lowry's got 4 points in the quarter.
If you were only looking at the way he's played offensively, you'd think his team would be ahead.
And the Mavericks call time here. And at this point of the game, getting a break here, important for the teams to regroup. And for the players, this is where you have a chance to get rehydrated with Gatorade. Get ready to play strong to finish off the game. Let's go quickly over to Doris Burke for an update.
Kevin, over that last break, I got a chance to hear what Rick Carlisle said to his team. He wanted his guys to keep up the intensity, saying, if any of you think this game is over, you're wrong. We've got work to do. I don't want to see any letdown on the defensive end of the floor. Guys, let's watch how it plays out.
Now, here's Calderon. 6 on the shot clock. The Mavericks rebound. Marion outside. Some nice passing here by Dallas. Calderon passes to Ellis. On the wing, Marion. Dallas needs to get off a shot. Takes the 3. Calderon, no good.
Boy, he's got a nice-looking stroke. That almost went in.
Yeah, a lot of times he'll hit that shot regardless of the defense.
Gay gets a screen from Lowry. Gay kicks to Lowry. He dishes it to DeRozan. Back to Lowry. And it's Lowry again missing. Mavericks leading by 10. 1:27 left in the fourth quarter of this one. Calderon dishes to Nowitzki. DeRozan defending. And lots of contact there. Missing the shot. He'll shoot 2.
Yeah, the defender draped all over him.
Pretty plain and simple. Got him good there.
And the first one at the line is good. And so Nowitzki nails both of them.
Well, last season was Dirk Nowitzki's 15th in the NBA and maybe his toughest. He underwent a knee scope right before the start of the season, missed about 2 months of action, and the Mavericks ended up missing the playoffs.
And the Raptors call time here. They're trailing by 12. We've got 1:18 left in the fourth. We've got 1:18 left in the fourth quarter.
Right there. Come get it.
Gay gets a screen from Valanciunas. He kicks to Johnson. Gives him the lead pass. Marion with the steal. Now here's Ellis. Back to Marion. It's Ellis on the wing. There's the pass to Nowitzki. And speaking of Nowitzki, he expressed some concern about the direction of the Mavericks himself last year.
Yeah, after that championship season, they let go of some of their good players, especially Tyson Chandler. But they were trying to free up cap space and lure a top free agent. They were left holding the bag, basically. But Nowitzki wants to retire a Mav, and hopefully they can provide a contender for him.
First free throw is good. And that one goes in. 2 from the line that time.
For a little while in the recent past, it seemed as though the Mavericks were becoming a slowdown team, but last year they got back to running and gunning and ended up being one of the best offensive teams in the league.
And that's out of bounds. Toronto will retain possession.
A nice play to get a hand on that pass and tip it out of bounds.
I tell you what, guys, if he gets there a fraction earlier, that's a steal.
Augustine passes to Hansbrough. Can't cash in from close range. Clark, as you said about the Mavs, 6th in the league in fast break points, and a lot of that was due to their passing, Steve.
Yeah, when you have Dirk and the other bigs that they have, they can get a break going in a hurry if you don't back up defensively. So it wasn't a surprise that they were up there in both fast break points and assists because of their fluid nature offensively. And the crowd here, of course, not happy about the outcome. But you know what? We saw a team tonight that came in prepared to do battle on the road, and they clearly wanted the win.
You know, they were determined to steal this game, and they showed it, Steve. Played harder and got the job done.
It's Fields outside. Misses there. So we see the Mavericks taking the win here. And this one was such a lopsided victory.
They never let up. They were full throttle from the start.
Well, it's time to say so long. For Clark Kellogg, Steve Kerr, and Doris Burke, this is Kevin Harlan along with our 2K Sports crew thanking you for tuning in. Now it's time to present our Jordan Player of the Game, Monte Ellis.